Hello, everybody. It is me. I am streaming early today. I hope you don't mind because I am trying to play it safe. On the post I posted a few minutes ago, I have information about all the snow that we're having here in the Midwest. There was a storm that came through yesterday, and I've got about, it seems like a foot, but I'm sure it's not really that much of snow that I have to go shovel. And instead of doing this stream at 2 o'clock like I normally would my time, I'm going to go live now, which is 2 hours early, just so I can be done within 2 hours so I can, really get to go outside and shovel snow for 2 hours before it gets dark. And believe me, I will probably need more than that 2 hours because I think last year I actually it took me all day actually, because I could only go out there and I could shovel snow for so long, and then I'd have to come back inside, relax a little bit because it's cold out there for one thing. It's like right now it's 9 degrees and I'm not as in good a shape as I used to be, so it's going to take me a lot longer to shovel the snow, especially if it's that high. If you want to, you can go check out the post I posted a few minutes ago, and it shows some pictures of the snow. And well, there you go. So at the moment, I got together with my group this morning, and it's a group that we've joined through Sarah Cannon's the follow through fix. She set up little groups for all of us that were in there, and I'm grouped with 2 people, and we got together the first time this morning and we chatted for a little while, and it was really nice to meet them. And we've made goals for ourselves, and I need to straighten out my outline for the story that I'm writing. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I'd tried to do these multiple times and I just keep failing at it. So now I am going to try to do that better. Let's get this guy bigger. I'm taking just a few minutes to be able to chit chat for a little bit, just in case somebody else shows up. I really doubt that they will, but you never know. Things happen. And I am going to make sure that I am live currently. And let's see, because I know I'm supposed to be live on Twitch and on YouTube, and I always check, even though I know it's probably a real thing, as if it's not a real thing. Twitch, twitchity twitch. There I am on YouTube. Content isn't available unless you hit the refresh button, and then all of a sudden it's there. I'm going to mute it. Okay, here I go on Twitch. I don't know why I'm doing this on Twitch, because I don't think anyone ever watches any of my stuff. And it's probably silly. Stream Manager. There I am. And it is muted, so I can't hear it. But if anyone should try to write a comment or something, I need to be able to see if someone's talking to me. And so far on OBS, I haven't figured out how to do that, so I'll have to figure it out. However, I'm going to go ahead and start this little timer, and I'm going to mute it for myself. Then I'm going to start working on my outline, which is over here. It's on a pad of paper. Just a handy dandy piece of paper. Just a notebook. So, yeah. My little room is kind of messy, so just ignore the chaos behind me. Pretend it doesn't exist, like we're standing at the visitor vase and I closed the curtain. So let's go with that. All right, let's get going. 25 minutes are on the clock, and we are going to get started. So, good luck to you. All right, that is done, and I'm gonna go ahead and start the 5-minute timer so we can take our little break. Okay, so I got the rest of the page and part of another one. I've been using this little outline that I pretty much got off of a website. This is like a cozy mystery setup. There's 4 acts, and there's 15 stages that you go through for each act, and it pretty much tells you how much of a percentage each one is. I can probably share this somehow, maybe on a Google Doc sheet or something, but I don't have it available yet. But if you are interested in it, let me know, and I can download it or I can put it on Google and share it with anybody who wants to use it. And I will try to also share the source in which I found it, and I think it's still there. It's just a website. I think it's Deep South or something like that. I don't really remember. I've had it for a couple of years now, but I can definitely share it, and it's helping me a lot to try to create this outline. So right now I'm just a little step into this Act 2, so I have all of the main suspects in line. Now, I don't think that they're going to all go in the order in which I've placed them on the page, because some of them, you know how it works in a mystery, you don't really know. Like, you don't get all the information in the first time that you see the suspect. You kind of get the information throughout the rest of the book. And then, either they are cleared of any charges or, cleared of the crime itself, or they go to jail mistakenly. You know how it works in mysteries. People always get suspected and they go to jail and they do this and that, and then, later on down the road they find some kind of an alibi or evidence that proves that they're innocent, and then they get released. So these things don't happen all in the same chapter, so that's definitely something I'm going to need to work on. But I will definitely let you know. I think during that last sprint, I did use the Forest app, and I started it after the 25 minutes was already in progress, so I set my app to 20 minutes instead of 25, and I think that worked out okay because it gave me a couple minutes to, do other stuff while it was doing that. And, since we're having such bad weather here in Southwest Illinois, the people that I work with are all communicating, because we have a group text that a lot of people are texting today because they want to know if they're going to work tomorrow. So in the job that I have now, we have several days in office and then several days home, working from home. And that's what I'm going to be doing, is working from home tomorrow and Tuesday, because it's my time to work from home. However, I think because of the weather, I think everyone is going to be able to switch to work from home, because I think everybody in my little department are able to work from home, and I think they've all pretty much prepared for it. But I think we still have to wait for the official text from the company saying that they're allowed to work from home. That's just the way it is. And then next, it's kind of like a 2 days off a week, not off, but 2 days working from home each week. So tomorrow and Tuesday is my days off for this week, but the following week I will be taking Thursday and Friday off, and then the following Monday and Tuesday. So it's like I've got 5 days in the office, 5 days out of the office, kind of thing. And that kind of includes the weekends too, I guess you should, but it's a strange schedule and it's new to me, so I'm still learning all that stuff. But I really love my new job. I'm so glad that I found it, and everyone there makes me feel very welcome, and I'm really catching up, learning stuff. I'm trained for a couple of different projects that we have there, and it comes pretty easy to me. It's just there's a lot of steps in each process, so I need to make sure that I'm doing things right. So there's a lot of communication through the phone and through Microsoft Teams. They do a lot of that. So, all right, looks like we're to our 25-minute sprint now. So I am going to reset my Forest app to 25 minutes. See, and perhaps I'll change the plant. Yeah, I think I will go ahead and make it a little rose bush with some butterflies. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer on the computer, and then mute my screen, and we'll just get some more outline created for myself. And whatever you're doing, I hope you get to that too. So, all right, so here we go. I'm going to hit the plant first. See, oh, what is that? Never show me again. Okay, so that's going. This is going, and I'm going to mute it. So good luck. Okay. 5 minutes are now on the little timer. Gonna go ahead and get that started. So, how did you do? I got a lot done. I've switched over to something else though. I've finished the rest of the other page and I started working on the top of this one, but I don't know if you remember this from a couple of weeks ago, I have a whole calendar that I've been writing. I've been kind of using it as a story Bible kind of thing, I think. I don't know if I'm even using that term correctly, but I'm using it to keep track of the timeline of my story because it'll help me to put things in the proper chronological order. And that's one of the things I've been having trouble with the most is I get stuck in the middle and I can't think of, I can think of all the suspects that I want to investigate for my characters. However, I can't figure out what order to put them in, like what should they do first, because it can't all happen in one chapter. It has to go through several levels. Like at the beginning of chapter, I don't know, let's call it chapter 10, they find out that somebody seems like they might be guilty of the crime, which is murder, and they have to go through all of the motives that they could possibly have, the people involved, and then they'd have to proceed through other steps. And that doesn't all you can't start somebody at the start of a chapter and go through the motive and all the steps that they would take and then clear them at the end of the chapter. Sometimes you have to clear them further down the road and in another act even. So that's what I'm having trouble doing. Okay, I'm gonna turn the heater off. Okay, it's loud and it was starting to get just a little too warm, so I am still working in this. It is progressing a lot nicer than I had thought it would at this beginning of this whole thing. And I took a break. I wanted to heat up my coffee and I made some popcorn. Because here it is actually lunchtime. Since I have to go out and shovel some snow after the stream, I wanted to get the stream done first because you do not want me to go out and shovel snow and then come in and do a stream because I'm going to look like crap. Because it's going to be hard. It's going to be sweaty. Even though it's cold outside, and I'm going to end up sweating. I'm going to have to take breaks in between. It's going to take a lot longer than 2 hours. I would have been out there all day, and as it seems, I might be out there all night. I don't know. But I think, let's see. I don't think I checked my little rose bush on Forest app. Yep, I got 9 coins for that. So that's good. So let's choose something different for this next round. I got a minute 40 before I have to change that. I think I'm going to keep it at 25 minutes because that's what the Pomodoro timer is, traditionally 25 minutes. And I think maybe I will do the special tree. I have no idea what that's even called. But it is that. I don't know what that means. But I'm going to plant it when it comes time to plant it, and it should stop notifications from coming onto my phone, but I don't know if it works because earlier when I was getting text messages back and forth from people that I work with, they were coming through over the Forest app. So I don't know if it works for everything. Maybe if I opened an app like a streaming app, like Peacock or something, maybe it would kill the tree. But that's what usually happens whenever you use the Forest app. If you try to do something else on your phone that you're not supposed to do, like wasting time instead of working like you're supposed to, then it's supposed to kill the tree. And then you feel bad for killing the tree, and I don't know. It's a psychological thing, I think. But it seems to work to get me to do stuff. And I think if you're in a group room where there's more than just the one person, then like anybody else who does something on their phone, it kills the tree. And then everybody in the group is like, what did you do that for? You just killed the tree. And then that person feels guilty. So, I don't know. It's a fun thing to do. Not to make people feel guilty, but to keep track of your procrastination nature, which I definitely have a lot of. So I'm going to go ahead and get going on this 25-minute sprint. Nice to see everybody, if they're still out there. I'm not even really sure. No. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this started. Start this one first. So then I'm going to start this one and mute it again. Good luck to you. Bye-bye. Okay, we are down to one more sprint, and we have 5 minutes on the clock. This is our little break time. So I've done several more pages, and in fact, so the list that I showed you before, I am like right here. Well, let's see. I am right here on number 13 now. I've only got a few more left, and then I will have this whole book plotted, finally, after years. I don't know what I've been doing with myself. I mean, honestly, it seems like such a simple thing to do. Just follow the little cue points and just make shit up, right? So why did it take me so long to finally get this far? I think maybe it's psychological. Maybe it is I'm afraid to write it and then show it to people, because I know that there is, let's see. I'll have to get back to her in a second. So one of the people that I work with just texted me, but I can't answer her right now because I'm talking to you guys. If you're listening, I don't even know. But anyway, one time I went to a writers conference. It's called Killer Nashville. It's in Tennessee. And actually Franklin. Technically it's in Franklin, Tennessee, and it was really good. It was right after COVID. The one that I had originally scheduled to go to was like right when COVID started and it shut everything down. So, by the time I got around to going to the one that was rescheduled from the canceled COVID one, it was, I was not in a good place. And I had a couple of different stories that I'd been working on. Nothing was finished. And I went to a couple of those little critique group type things and agent stuff. And I didn't really understand what any of that stuff was at the time, because I was kind of brand new to this whole situation. And I didn't know that you shouldn't have gone to one of those things until you had a full manuscript, and you shouldn't. And whenever you get there, you're supposed to bring like the first 10 pages of your manuscript, and I did. And I had to read it out loud in front of a group of people. There was like an agent, but then there was also other people that came to the critique group with us. And for some reason, the story that I chose was like, it was a scene that was really bad because it was from the murderer's point of view. The bad guy, he was like a really bad guy, and I couldn't read it. I actually started crying inside this place, like inside this little room where all these people are. I started crying when I read my own story, and that was because it was like it was my book baby, and it made me very, very, I felt very, I don't even know what to call it, like a raw new baby in front of these people reading a story that came from my heart. I know it was like a really bad scene to start with, but I just couldn't do it. And so I actually stopped reading and they read it themselves. And I still remember it. I felt like a complete ass. I felt like an idiot. And I think that sticks with me. And now I think that if I do finish writing a book, that's gonna follow me. That's gonna happen again. And I have to make sure that whenever I do start, trying to get this book out there, I need to make sure that I can actually read the first chapter or whatever out loud. I don't know why I couldn't do it then. I was in a bad place. I was feeling like an imposter. It was like you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be doing this. This is dumb. What are you thinking? And I don't know. But I've always regretted that. I think that if I would have gone with the other story that I had brought with me, I probably would have been able to read it, but that was probably not true too. I'd probably have the same reaction. I'd probably not be able to read, because whenever I get upset, my throat actually closes off and I can't talk. That's what happens to me. So if I like get really upset and cry or anything like that, It's like the ugly cry thing for one thing, and I just can't talk while I'm upset like that. So that's just the way it is. And I think that's what keeps me back, keeps me from trying again and getting everything done and all that. So I think it's psychological. I'm sure other people have felt that way about reading their work out loud to people who are strangers and who are going to judge you and all that good stuff. So, yeah, that's just the way it is. All right, I got 25 more minutes on the clock. This is the last sprint. I am going to have this whole thing finished by the time I'm done with this sprint. I just know it. So the next step is going to be to transfer some of the stuff to little index cards. And I think I might choose a different color for each act. Although I could just like use the white ones. But the white ones I have, they don't have any lines on them. And I kind of, in order to have handwriting that I can actually read later, I think it's better that I have lines, like these lines. But I only got 3 colors for the brightly colored ones. I've got the pink, orange, and green, but I don't have any more than that. So, and I might just use Post-it notes. I'm not really sure how it's going to work, but I need to transfer them out of this book and onto a board somewhere so I can have the stuff there waiting for me, and maybe transfer the information to my Scrivener page as well in the notes section so I know what I'm writing the next time around. So I'm very excited about this. This is the furthest I've gotten with this story, and I feel like I have everything mapped up in my mind now, and I think it'll work. So let's get this one done, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer. Oh, I forgot about my my handy dandy. Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and get a new one started for this. I don't even care what it is at this point because I've got the other started already, so here we go. Okay. Well, I have finished the outline. I have done everything I can. Now I only have one question that I never resolved. Okay, so she's working at a place. Oh, my tree has grown too. Let's see. Let's see if I can see it. Yep, see, there it goes. Perfect. Okay, so that was 2 hours of actual concentrating on one thing, which is pretty awesome, for me anyway. I have a really bad habit of not paying attention to things and just doing whatever the heck I want to for as long as I want to. Let's see, there we go. But today I did good, and I think I'm gonna do this again next week. I kind of feel like today is a special day because it's like a snow day. And normally on Sundays, my friend and I would go walk in the park if it was, a nice outside. And it's not been nice outside this weekend. This weekend has been horrific. I've got a lot of snow out there that I have to go shovel in just a few minutes here. And it's not cool. It's not cool at all. But whenever this passes, I'm going to have to go out and walk again with my friend. So the time that I did today is not going to work for every week. And in fact, I've considered changing the day that I write and do these live streams and stuff like that, because I don't know if Sunday during the day is going to work at all. I may have to switch it to evening, or maybe doing it on a weekday, which I haven't confirmed. I feel like I'd have better success if I did it on a Sunday evening instead of a workday evening, because a workday evening is a day that I'm either in the office or working from home, but I work all day. And it's not stressful, but I'm still in training, so I'm still learning stuff. So I'm going to be pretty much exhausted by the end of the day. So I feel like I need to be able to have downtime after that. And if I go straight from, after work to doing these streams, then it's going to be, there's no downtime in between. So I think I'm going to switch it to Sunday nights, and I'm going to see how that works. Because I know that as soon as the sun goes down, it's going to be, I'm not going to have as much motivation to do the job that I need to do to write this book. And I have the outline all done, so I just need to follow up on it, and that's the one thing I've never been good at, is follow up. But I'm trying to learn, and I'm trying to get this done because I really want to write this book. I really want to put it out there in the world. I feel like I have stuff I want to say. It's not a non-fiction book, it's a fiction book, so it's just a little story. So I just want to get it out there in the world, because sometimes whenever people are not living their best lives, they want to have something to read, someone else's story that, in the story this character gets it all figured out by the end of the book. She conquers her fear, she steps out of her comfort zone, and she gets shit done. And I think that's what everybody wants, because they all want a little bit of hope. They want a little bit of, can-do spirit into their lives, especially whenever it's a day like this when I have to go out and shovel snow. I don't want to do that. Why did I leave Arizona? Why? I'm so silly. Okay. I'm not really silly. That was a good choice for me. I wanted to move home because I wanted to be near my family, because after 2 years of working from home there alone, I wanted to be around family. So that is my major decision, and I'm sticking with it. I'm happy with it. I'm glad that I moved home. I actually missed snow, but on a day like today, I can't imagine why. So, alright, so we've got the stream completely done. Look for me, next Sunday in the evening. I don't know what's happening with my friend. She's still got a broken wrist, and I think she still has a cast, and her arm's in a sling. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be able to walk next week or go to the YMCA or anything like that. It depends on the weather. It depends on if there's snow on the ground. I don't want to drive in this stuff. You know, I don't think the roads are even being cleared, because a lot of people were getting the same feedback whenever my friends were talking to me back and forth from work, like on text messaging. They were saying that there's streets out there by where they live in Missouri and other parts of Illinois are still unplowed, and that was a couple hours ago. But still, I mean, you know, it's just the weather here sucks right now, but it'll get better. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. I will see you again next week. Hopefully you can come to my next one and you can get shit done too, like I do. I did really good today. I'm so proud of myself. I've actually finished an outline. You have no idea how good that is for me. It's good. It's proper, and I'm so happy with it. So I'll catch you next week. Have a good night. Okay. Bye.